This is Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona, home to over 3 million people and located on the beautiful Mediterranean Sea, was the last major stop on the Spain part of our family's trip to Europe. You want to see more? Pues sigue mirando. Day 1. We left for Pearson Airport at 6:30 p.m. on August 2nd. Aunt Sharon kindly volunteered to take us there, along with Aunt Janet, Uncle Dave, Cousin Tori, Cousin Holly, Cousin Tanner, and Cousin Miss, of course. We got there and were through security in good time. Our flight was delayed due to thunderstorms. It seems like we've been on this trip for a long time, but we're still in Toronto. Kara, tell us what time it is.
10:30.
And what time were we supposed to leave?
10:30.
Why haven't we left yet?
Weather.
But we aren't going to let this get us down, are we? After about 2 hours, we were in the air. Other than being woken up soon after midnight to being served a hot meal, we were able to sleep well. We arrived in Madrid, Spain at 1:30 local time on August 3rd.
Buenas tardes.
How was the flight?
I had to sit beside this strange man.
One thing that you can't tell just by watching a video is the temperature, but we can. It's hot. Dad rented a car, and we found our hotel. Volkswagen, das Auto. It didn't take us long to realize that we were grateful for the GPS, even though it was 105 euros extra. Here's a little fun fact about Spain. Restaurants aren't open until 9 o'clock p.m. There you go. After unsuccessfully walking around trying to find a place to eat, we settled for McDonald's. Walking to McDonald's, this rugged trail. It's hot. We spent the evening riding Madrid's public transportation system and enjoying nice scenery in Retiro Park. Here we have a tree that's looking like it's trying to be camouflaged, but I can see it plain as day. Then we ate supper at a hotel restaurant that was far classier than what we were dressed. We got back to our hotel at midnight. Day 2. We bade Madrid adios after a nice breakfast at the hotel and drove to Monasterio de Piedra Park, a place Kara had found online. At this park, a 12th century monastery overlooks a beautiful valley full of waterfalls, trees, and caves. We hiked all afternoon and were amazed by the astounding views. 3,000 stairs.
It's kind of tiring.
We then drove to Hotel Diagonal Plaza in Zaragoza, Spain. Nice thing about these hotels in Spain is that you can get Harvey's right to your room.
Yeah, I'd like an Angus with cheese and a root beer, please.
We ate supper at a doner kebab place not far from our hotel. At what time? You guessed it, 9 o'clock. Day 3. In our research in what to do in Zaragoza, Spain, we came across a castle known as Palacio de la Aljaferia, originally built in 800 BC and located in the middle of the city. We thought we'd check it out. However, we couldn't find parking close to the castle. We're trying to get to that palace, but how's that going for us, Kara?
Turn left. We haven't died yet.
In 300 meters, enter roundabout.
We drove around for half an hour before finally finding a parking garage. The castle was, well, it was interesting. We were a little disappointed that we couldn't go up in the towers. We then drove to our hotel in Montmeló, a suburb of Barcelona. That evening, after checking into our hotel, we drove to Mataró to see the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. Kara swam in it while the rest of us watched. On the way back to our hotel, we ate at another restaurant called El Trabuc, which again was way classier than we were. And yes, it was at 9 o'clock. Day 4. The day we were all looking forward to. The day we tour Barcelona. Roland, give us the rundown about what's going to happen today. Right. Barcelona. We took a train from Montmeló to downtown Barcelona. We're in downtown Barcelona trying to figure out where we want to go.
Go down to get the metro.
Barcelona has a system of tour buses that stop at all the major tourist attractions. It was really handy to be able to get off wherever we wanted, take however much time we needed at each place, and hop on the next bus when it came. Buses came through every 5 to 10 minutes. One of the stops was a gondola ride and a brilliant view of the city. We also ate lunch right outside the huge stadium where Football Club Barcelona play. Unfortunately, we couldn't convince Dad to let us get a tour. So what's the final word? We're not going inside the stadium?
I don't think so.
Yes. Why aren't we, Dad?
Costs too much.
I bought a Barca hat though, so it's all good. One of the highlights of the day was seeing the Sagrada Familia Church, a huge cathedral designed by the famous Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí. This building was started over 100 years ago and is still under construction. The sheer size of the place left us with gaping mouths and sore necks. The last thing we did was walk down one of Barcelona's most famous streets, La Rambla. We had a pizza dinner along this street that is constantly full of people, most of which are tourists. We saw artists, vendors, and living statues as we walked from San Josep Market all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Nothing. I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I bought a selfie stick from one of the street vendors. He was such a nice man. And hey, now we can take a picture with the whole family in it. Taking video just got a whole lot easier.
That's over the other side of that building, right?
After walking down La Rambla, we took the train back to our hotel in Montmeló. The next morning, we drove to France and said a sad adios to Spain. Let's take a look at the top 3 highlights of Spain. Number 3. Seeing the city of Barcelona from the Montjuic cable car.
On the first little part of the ride, we could look over the whole city and see Barcelona from that mountain, and then a little bit farther up the ride at the very top, we got to go and look at the view over the Mediterranean Sea and see the port at Barcelona.
Definitely one of the most beautiful cities we've ever seen, wouldn't you say, Carol?
Definitely.
Number 2. Hiking the beautiful trails of Monasterio de Piedra Park.
It was a hiking place, basically, and there were waterfalls everywhere, and it was really hot, and we could get wet, and I like that.
Yeah, it was nice. Number 1. The story of how we almost didn't get to go inside La Sagrada Familia, but then we did.
Well, the first thing that you have to know is that we were planning to go in right away. That was our goal. We didn't know much about it. We just knew that it's a really big church. We figured it wouldn't be any problem to get in. But what happened when we got there is that there were people crowded all around it. It was obviously the most popular attraction in Barcelona. And we were told right away that they're sold out of tickets for the day. That we didn't really want to come back to Barcelona the next day, and we were wondering what we were going to do. We really wanted to see inside it. A young guy came up to us and said, "Hey, do you guys need tickets?" My group, some of them were ill, like ill. We finally figured out that some of his group didn't make it, and so they had extra tickets.
I was very skeptical. I thought he seemed like a very sketchy guy who probably wanted to take all of our money. So I was kind of thinking we probably shouldn't do it. But in the end, it turned out I was really glad that we did.
It's really a good thing to see. We were really glad that we got to see it.